show today. Peloton up 5%.
What's up, disciplined investor?
We got Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick here with us.
The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Nash.
Peter Schiff on the Power Hour with us live today. Interesting, different, unique, innovative companies. Mia, you are live with us on the Power Hour. What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Jessica Billingsley, that is the CEO of Akerna, the best trade idea resource out there. Yo, what is up, everybody? Shout out to the world. Happy Hump Day. Wednesday, Hump Day. Shout out Geico. Shout out the Camel commercial. We will never forget Hump Day. Let's get into it, guys. This is the Power Hour. This is the Trade Idea Show. It is time to get rocking and rolling. The only reason we spend this hour together every single day is we want this to be the best trade idea resource out there. If we're not delivering on that, blow us up in the chat. I'm not scared. The only fear that I have is being buried alive, okay? So you're empowered. Put your diggers in the chat. Smash the like button. Have no fear. Let's dive into it today. Right out of the top. We AB and I each pitched a stock on the buy the dip day. That was Monday. We're gonna go take a look at how those stocks are doing and how we're managing the positions now. We're then gonna do a rapid fire. First three tickers that go into the chat from this point on, we're gonna rapid fire them on the show. 12:15 ticker AEHR. We're bringing a special guest on to the show to give us his pitch for ticker AEHR. He threw out the lofty price target of $100 on the stock. Let me go ahead and bring my screen up. AEHR. Okay. So the stock is at $5 right now. Throwing out 100. So we've got to hear that pitch. Again, I have no fears, okay? That's just what it is. At 12:30, CEO interview, ticker VSQTF, Victor Sandy, Quebec, Tango, Foxtrot. And then at the end of the show, we're going to be checking in on NVIDIA post-split. We're going to be talking NVIDIA post-split. We're also going to be talking junior mining stocks. That is the move. Let's get after it. Let's go. So there we have it. First things first, AB. Do you know what we did today in Benzinga Pro?
What did we do today in Benzinga Pro?
All right. And we're just doing this little sidebar before we get into our buy the dip tickers. We broke a story on Summit Wireless, ticker Whiskey India Sandy Alpha. Again, Whiskey India Sandy Alpha, Summit Wireless. Oh, shit. Stock is up 20% since we broke that news. Check this out, exclusive. We put it in red. We put it in all caps. If you are a Benzinga Pro user, pro.benzinga.com, this exclusive story that the Benzinga news team brought to you just paid for your entire year of membership. If you're not a member of Benzinga Pro, it's a 2-week, no credit card, no money trial, pro.benzinga.com. Literally no reason not to go give it a try. Again, story coming out of the Benzinga news desk, 6:30 a.m., we had it 30 minutes before the press release came out, but it's Summit Wireless announcing a deal with I believe Toshiba. Stock is up 20% since we broke that story. If you were on Benzinga Pro, congratulations, you just paid for your whole year membership on the one trade. Boom, we're just airborne all over the place today. All right.
Yeah, Luke, maybe we should bring the company on the Power Hour to discuss the news.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, wait.
Set it up, AB.
We have the CEO coming on tomorrow.
Boom. There we go. All right. I'll take it.
I mean, we go out, we get this news for you, Zinger Nation, and then we follow up on it to bring the CEO on the show to discuss the news further, to understand it better. And that's what we want to do here on the Power Hour. We are all about bringing you, Zinger Nation, the trade ideas.
Boom. All right. So let's hop to the ideas. On Monday, when we were airing the show, SPY was down 2%. We called it a buy the dip day. Use it as a day to load up on stocks, which have become abnormally cheap. We each pitched one stock that we were buying on the dip. Let's check in on them and how we're managing the trades now. The one that I pitched, VYGVF, Voyager Digital. This is a crypto brokerage, crypto exchange. Let me zoom it out to a 5-day view on the chart. And so the reason why I pitched this stock is because the company has grown revenues from 60 million to 100 million quarter over quarter. And the stock was trading at, when it was down, I think 15% on Monday. The stock was trading at 3.75 times the price to sales ratio. Okay, that's below the average of the S&P 500, and we're talking about a small stock in a sexy sector that, again, from quarter to quarter, grew revenue from 60 million to 100 million. Monstrous. All right. I'm going to drop a link in the chat about this one too, so if anybody wants more deets, you can see it there, but link is going into the chat momentarily. So Voyager Digital, that's the one that I pitched. If we look at noon on Monday, which is about when we had the show, the stock was at 1050-ish. Right now we're at 1250 plus 20% on the stock. Producer AB, the way that I am managing this trade right now is I am letting it ride. I own the shares outright. So it's just a common stock position. We are finally getting some awesome momentum today with the stock up 14%. If that momentum cracks, I'm going to trim some. I'm going to trim some of the position, take some of the money off the table, because they do have a catalyst, which is their next earnings report is going to be monstrous. Next earnings report, again, is going to be monstrous for Voyager Digital. It looks like we're expecting that sometime next week or the week after. If the momentum continues to ride, I'm just going to let it go. When I've made the mistake too many times in my trading career where I sell my winners too early, so I'm going to let it go. But that was my Monday pitch. Voyager Digital finally getting some follow through today. Producer AB, what was your ticker? What was your buy the dip ticker? And I'm going to throw this one out to the chat, guys. If you bought the dip on any stocks Monday, Tuesday this week, put those tickers in the chat. I want to see where everybody was at.
So my main one, Luke, was Disney. I bought Disney. It hasn't been as exciting so far as Voyager for you. And of course, right now we're seeing crypto just have a bounce back day overall. Bitcoin is up about 7% over the last 24 hours. So after a few weeks of hurt in the crypto market, it seems like today has been kind of a bounce back day. So definitely strong for Voyager. And Luke, how's Voyager looking compared to other crypto stocks? So SOS, Mara.
So here's why I like Voyager as a trade rather than an SOS or a Mara. Is a little bit of risk is taken out in that Voyager is not dependent on the price of Bitcoin to drive revenue like the Bitcoin miners obviously are. It makes money both ways. They make money on transactions. Obviously, if the price of crypto is rising, they will make more money. There's more FOMO. There's more people getting into the market. But when we have these downturns in the crypto market, it continues to hold out. And some tickers that I'm seeing folks dropped in the chat that they added to their buy the dip list. Boozy, great trade on Boozy. Nice couple dollar move there. Coin, somebody loaded up on Coin. Another great buy the dip trade. Neo, I see in there. Let's see what else. Neo, another great buy the dip trade. Genius, GNUS. Genius is really interesting. I need to get into Genius brands at $1.70. All right, producer AB, tomorrow, I'm just going to start making the agenda for tomorrow already. Tomorrow, we're talking Genius brands, GNUS. I think it's a super interesting stock. I'm going to have a pitch ready for Genius tomorrow. Steve Hutchinson in the chat bought 15 stocks, bought the dip on 15. Generally speaking, you guys are good buy the dippers. Oh, shit, I'm losing my voice. Those few that we hammered through. Awesome job, Zinger Nation. And your Disney trade, AB. I mean, Disney's not a stock that's going to move 10% in a week. We know that. But I mean, you got $3 out of a stock that's as big as Disney. Your 300 billion market cap stock. You bought the dip too. So there we go. Yeah, Genius brands.
I do like a few other streaming plays right now. I think Fubo's at a good price. But these are more long-term plays, Luke. Nothing I'm looking to just buy and get out of. I think I'm going to hold my Disney shares for a while. Other things I've been looking at have been, all the things with earnings coming up right now. So we had Netflix report earnings last night. It's been trading down 3%. I don't know, Luke. I think the long-term gaming play on Netflix is actually kind of interesting, but Netflix has just been trading in this range for the past year. I mean, last July, it was at $548. It's at $510 right now. So it's actually lower right now than it was last July.
And revenue on Netflix, $7.3 billion. So it's $28 billion a year. If you annualize that, $29 billion. Market cap, $236 billion. Still definitely not a cheap stock. I think the move into gaming is interesting for sure.
And with back to Genius Brands, I mean, when you have a company that's trying to compete with content producers like Netflix, Disney, I mean, these are just huge companies. And then you have Genius Brands that produces, of course, children's cartoons. And as Cole's pointing out in the chat, shout out Cole Pinder from Zinger Nation, Stan Lee Superheroes had 40 million views. So if Genius is able to go in at all into this market and penetrate kind of Disney's, Netflix's sphere, then we could see that stock go a lot higher than $1.75. But Genius is one, for a trade, I don't know. It doesn't look like the stock's doing a lot of moving. But to just buy and hold, I really like that.
Yep. Yeah. So tomorrow, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow, I'm going to come ready with a full pitch. It's going to be a full 5-10 minute pitch on Genius Brands. We're going to buy it live on the show. I'm telling you, everybody's going to front run me now. So have your bull and bear cases for Genius ready for tomorrow. All right, guys, if you are just joining us, this is the Power Hour. This is the Trade Idea Show. If we're not delivering on ideas, call us out in the chat. I have no fears other than being buried alive. I can take it. Tell us that we're wasting your time. But next up, we're about to do 3 stocks, 3 minutes. Okay. So there's going to be some rapid fire ideas. We're going to talk ticker AEHR. We're bringing an expert on the stock in. It's a $5 stock. He's calling for as high as $100 price target. So we're going to hear that pitch. We're doing a public company CEO interview, ticker VSQTF. And then as we work towards the end of the show, we're going to be talking NVIDIA price action post-split. We're also going to be talking mining stocks. So there it is. Let's hit it. Time for 3 stocks, 3 minutes. First one on the list, producer AB. I just took I took them as they came into the chat. Wish. Context logic, wish.com. We can't talk about Wish without going to wish.com, my favorite online reseller of crack pipes. Wish.com, if you don't know it, believe me, go on there, create the account. You will not be disappointed. It will be well worth your entertainment. I mean, look at this. You want some straws, producer AB? You want a lighter for $1.71? You want this John Kennedy ring for $2? I will buy this for you, producer AB. Do you want this for $2? Cool. Do you want this little scale to measure your proteins when you're cooking?
Yeah, I do need a kitchen scale like that, definitely.
How about a 20 pack of these long ass crack pipes? That says producer AB.
Yeah, but my question is, if we order these today, when will we actually get them?
I don't know. That's the experiment. Okay. All right, we're gonna buy the John Kennedy ring. All right, so tomorrow we're doing Genius Brands. We're buying the John Kennedy ring on wish.com. We're going to measure how long it takes to get
here. All right,
well,
that'll be a chat challenge. Well, you have to pick the day that you think the ring will come. And if you guess the day right, we'll send you some swag, maybe even a little bit extra prize for that, because that'll be impressive.
Yeah, but all right, wish.com, I'm not a huge fan of. I think that the stock is relatively expensive. The margins are super thin. So you have valuation working against you. I think that you have margins working against you. I've never been a huge fan of this business. And so for that reason, I've stayed on the sidelines. From a swing trade perspective, you are getting a little bit of energy momentum back into the stock. I mean, we're going on day 3 of some positive price performance there. So you let me know what you think, chat. If you guys like Wish, give me the 1 in the chat. If not, give me the 2. I see somebody's making the point it's a very crowded ticker, which that's also true. I'm definitely on the 2 side, not a fan of this one. Again, 3 stocks, 3 minutes. First one, Wish.com. Number 2 on the list, Maps. WM Technology, ticker MAPS. Mike Alpha Papa Sandy. I don't know this stock, producer AB. Let's see. It's a technology and software infrastructure provider to the cannabis industry. Okay, so it's a space that it's Weed Maps. This is Weed Maps. Okay, got it. So I think that it's in the right space. I don't know a ton about the stock other than that. The chart isn't beautiful. But I'm on like a no opinion on this thing. Again, I think that the space is right. I don't know about the valuation or the business itself very much. The chart does not look great. So first one, Wish. We threw it out 1, 2 if you like it. Most people like that stock. I'm going to ask you guys on this one, Maps. Weed Maps, ticker MAPS. If you like the stock, give the 1 in the chat. If not, give the 2. Let's see where everybody's at on that one. And then number 3 stocks, 3 minutes, AB, IDXX, the most beautiful chart we've seen in a long time. Stock is going sideways. I think this one's pretty clear, guys. We have the tops. We have the bottoms, right? The highs, the lows of the move. We want to look for a break to the upside, and I would absolutely be getting long this one. A break to the downside. I am sitting on the sidelines. Again, I mean, this chart is beautiful. And look at the straight line for weeks and weeks and weeks. Green, 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 green. We are now sideways. We get that break to the upside. I love it. We get the break to the downside. I hate it. So that's where I'm at on IDXX. Any opinion from your side, AB?
No, I think these last 2, Wish and IDXX, are ones that I'm staying on the sideline on as well, at least for now. I will say for Wish, I don't love their business long term, but just like everything else, you can play it as a trade. So I think it will eventually, if it keeps going down, get to a point where it could be an enticing trade. But Luke, we do have our first very special guest of the day to talk some AEHR.
Yes, this is the idea show, guys. We just did our buy the dip stocks. We did 3 stocks, 3 minutes. Now it is time for another one. AEHR as high as $100. That's the question. We have a guest who's ready to speak on it to give his pitch. Let's go ahead and bring Ben on to the Power Hour.
How you doing?
Hello, sir. Doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Nice to meet you, Hot Stocks. Luke, got some exciting things to talk about.
I know.
I have a special message for you first from Jonah Lupton. He asked me to ask you, are you still holding Celsius Holdings?
I am still holding Celsius. Shout out Jonah Lupton, good friend of the show. He's the strongest guy in finance. Okay, I'm working on it. Like I've been hitting the gym. I'm trying to get stronger than Jonah Lupton. He's still the strongest guy in finance. I'm still long Celsius, waiting on that earnings report. There were 6 Celsiuses left at my local Target on Sunday. I scooped up all 6, helping his sales number out there. So there we go.
Great, sounds good.
Are you in that stock?
I am not. No, I have not researched it.
Check it out. It's interesting. The valuation is going to look high when you look at it, but the sales growth is going to be fucking out of this world. I mean, it's going to be insane in this next quarter. That's basically what we're waiting on.
Awesome. Sounds good. So where do you want me to begin?
AEHR.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Let me give you a little background, then I have some visuals to share with you. So I made AEHR my largest position on July 2nd at $2.70.
And I guess, Ben, really quick, you asked me where you should begin. I gave you a bad answer. Give us a little bit of background on yourself, and then let's jump into the stock.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm the founder of StoryTrading.com. The whole idea behind story trading is to understand the story behind the trade rather than looking at things one-dimensionally, just looking at the technicals or just looking at the fundamentals. The concept behind story trading is to understand the price action behind the chart through the lens of what we call the 4 pillars, which is fundamentals, catalysts, sentiment, and technicals. So we do that through crowdsourced collaboration. We have a group of investors that right now we collaborate on WhatsApp and on Zoom. We have our own app coming out in the near future, but the whole point is to collaborate with the crowd and get information on those 4 pillars to really understand what's going on behind the chart. And thereby, when you have that knowledge, it helps you make better trading decisions in the future. So that's what story trading is all about. I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years with the community, and it's been an incredible ride. My portfolio has been through the roof since we got this going, and excited to share with you some of that magic today.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. And now let's get into the pitch, guys. AEHR, that is a stock. Ben, you teased us. You said you made it your largest position. This is the idea show. Let's hear it.
Great, good. So I've known about AEHR for 2 or 3 years. I've had a small position. On July 2nd, I went all out, made up my largest position at $2.70. I still have not sold a single share. I probably added to my position a little bit on the way up, but quite honestly, I had so much conviction at 270. I was already pretty much at max allocation then. So I did throw out that $100 on the. I got to watch what I say on Twitter. You pick the most extreme thing and you put that out there. But I do think...
Okay, it's a $5 stock. You said it could be 100. How am I not going to make that my talking point?
It could be 100. I think I said in 2 to 3 years, right?
Could it be 100,000?
No, but it could be a $100 stock in 2 to 3 years. I think right now it's probably worth 10 to 12 bucks. I think
guys, this is a 1-year chart daily candles we have up on the screen, but keep going, Ben.
Great. I think by the end of this year or sometime middle to end of next year, I think it could be a $50 stock. So, with that, I have some visuals. If you'd like me to share my screen, can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it. You should have a share button.
Okay. Great. Here we go. Can you see my screen? Disclaimer?
Not yet. Hold on. Boom. We got it.
All right. Just a quick disclaimer. My lawyers make you do this. I am not an investment advisor. Investing in securities involves significant risk of loss. So let's get that out of the way. So when I saw this opportunity, the first thing I do, I try to analyze what's the story behind the trade. Believe it or not, I go into the past, right? I say, what happened there in 2017? What was that big spike about, and why did it keep going down after that? So just remember that. We're going to come back to that because that's the key. That's why I knew to buy big time at 270 a few weeks ago and keep on holding. Okay, we talked about fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. So the key to understanding what can happen in the future is understanding what happened in the past. Learn the story behind the trade. We're quick. On July 2nd, they had earnings. So this is an old fundamental chart on Y charts. Fundamentals don't show you anything. So a lot of fundamental traders, fundamental investors have been missing this trade. They missed it at 270, right? You got to look at other factors. Look at sentiment. Sentiment, warranted or not, this had some action, some interest as a semiconductor shortage play, but that's not the real news here. This is now an obvious electric vehicle play. I think it's the hottest electrical vehicle play on the market. We'll get to that in a second. There's been increasing attention from Twitter gurus. So that's the sentiment part of it. The technicals, okay, this is, again, the chart way back when I called this at 270. I work with this great technician. His name is Rexman. I recommend everyone follow him. There it is, Rexman74. Rexman is an expert on supernova moves. Him and I together, we're collaborating on Marin, MRIN, just recently. I had it all over my Twitter at $3. That I thought I could have a $17 price target. We derived that from not just the technicals, but the sentiment and the catalyst, everything we're talking about. That did a supernova move. He is an expert in supernovas. It went from 3 to 17. So we're looking at air and saying, can air do a supernova move? And the answer is yes. It has the potential for a supernova move. If it breaks the 8s on high volume, the target is the high teens. Now, we're going to talk about why, what's going on here? And the most important thing, the thing that got me into this is learning about the past. I said, identify that inflection point. Here are the catalysts. I'm going to go through this real fast, okay? March 14th, AIR was chosen by our community by someone by the name of Ashley Day. He's a contributor in our community. He chose this as a VIP pick. You can go to storytrading.com, click on VIP picks. We have a spreadsheet tracking performance. This guy's an expert in this stock. He's been in it for a few years. He knows the CEO. He's done his research. Price is $256. A few months later, June 2nd, you got a $2.3 million EV order. Now, that's not huge news. Looks like a one-off. They've had lots of one-offs, right? Market's not convinced. But remember the past. What was that spike about? I'll tell you right now what that spike was about in 2017 that didn't last. What that was about was an order with Apple. First of all, what do these guys do? Real quick, they test chips, semiconductor chips. Very specific chip right now. They're doing a lot of work
So they test them, or what exactly do you mean by that?
In the production line, as they're being produced, right? These chips are very highly sensitive. They're very small, and a certain percentage of them are not good. They have to be burnt in. They have to be like, think of a new baseball glove. It's got to be like worked in so it works well. And in that process, when you burn them in, some of them are going to fail. And you want to do that in the production line so your products are not going to have defects when they come out. So this is what this company's been doing for a long time. And in the past, their orders have not led to significant sustained business. Why not? What happened in 2017? Because they did some work for Apple, but it was just for sampling. Apple did this work on some of their chips. They tested a small sample of, and they said, all right, well, our production's great. We don't need to test every chip, right? That's what happened back then. That's why the stock went back down. But now, as the chips have progressed, they've gotten more and more advanced. They've gotten smaller. They've gotten much more important. They're used in health sensors. They're used in electric vehicles. They're used in 3D cameras. The use cases are becoming very important, and it's very important. You cannot have failure. So in the production facility at semiconductor manufacturers, they have to burn and test these components. And what's happening here is, see, this was not one-off order. What happened June 30th? They're ordering again. Why? If you go look at the press releases, you'll see why. They're saying this customer is going to do repeat orders over and over again. It's for EV manufacturing. Why is that happening? If you do your research, you look at the press releases, you talk to the CEO, that's happening because sampling is not enough. You can't have a production of this that's going to be 100% perfect. You have to test each and every one of these coming out of the factory floor. And after those two PRs, I made this my VIP pick. I did a presentation. It's on YouTube. I dissected the wording of those two press releases, and I established for myself that the inflection is here. This is not a one-time order. This is significant recurring sales that are going to go up from here. July 9th. Okay.
And shout out to calling yourself a VIP. We're all VIPs here.
Check me on time, by the way. If I'm gonna go as fast as this. But July 9th.
3 minutes. Is that good?
All right. Perfect.
Let's hit it.
July 9th, they got another order, $2.9 million. Wow, is this real? Initially, I had a target of 3 to 350 on technicals. But now this is coming to fruition much faster than what they said. They said on June 30th, these orders are going to keep coming, but we didn't know how fast. Here it keeps coming. By the way, this is probably Tesla. Okay, based on the research we've done, it's Tesla, the end customer here, that's putting this in their electric vehicles.
And so, will we get an announcement from the company that it's Tesla? Will we know that at some point on a conference call, etc.? Based on history?
Don't think so. Probably not.
All
you
right.
have to get the pieces of the puzzle together. So anyway, that gave me conviction. I made it my trade of the week pick on July 11th. And then what happened? The big news, July 15th, blowout earnings report. Credit to my buddy Mark Gomes. He went and he annotated and edited this great earnings report. It's filled with nuggets. You go to storytrading.com/AEHRCC and you can break down the incredible nuggets from that earnings report. And this stock is gone. This is an obvious play right now. July 18th, Ashley Day made a trade of the week, $3.40. I mean, come on, too obvious at this point. Then they get a $10.8 million order July 19th. This is what, $20 million in orders in 1.5 months? Come on, this thing's off the hooks. $10 plus in the cards. So that's where we're at right now. And again,
and that last order, I'm going to put the screen up there. That's what moved the stock from $3 to $7, correct?
It's that, but also the C. Yeah, I guess if you listen to the CC, you would have known anyway, this thing's going to go off the hook. But that last order, the masses saw that 10.8 million. So, I mean, at this point, this is an EV play. The revenue is going to explode from here. There's a lot of other use cases as well for this technology. There's no competition. They have patents on everything, and they have a production. They can do 40 million a month. The capacity at their facility in business. The EV market's like 60 million a month. The EV market alone. So this thing's off the hook. It's going to 10 plus in the near term, I believe. $50 sometime next year, and potentially, yes, $100 if they don't get bought out first. There's a very good chance they'll be bought out before all that comes to fruition, though.
Okay, so let me boil short-term price target down into one sentence. Tell me if this is accurate. Stocks at 5. You said $10 short-term price target. The catalyst to get us there is continued orders.
The catalyst to get us there, honestly, I think you're going to see institutions buying up this stock on heavy volume in the coming days. When the quarterly reports come out by institutions, I think you're going to see a bunch of them piling into this stock. It's going to break. I'm looking for a break of the 8s on high volumes. I think I could go to the mid to high teens based on my buddy Rexman. I will begin selling some in the 9 to 10 range. I got in at 270. So that's the short term.
Okay, and we already had earnings. It looks like that was about a week ago. So catalyst short term. You have 13 Fs coming out, guys. 13 Fs. That's when hedge funds give us their positions. After that, you have the potential for future orders. And so, Ben, in closing, I'm going to throw this one out to the chat. Guys, if you like the stock, there's no sitting on the sidelines, okay? This is no World War II. You're Switzerland. You're just going to hang out and not participate, all right? You're getting into it. You like the stock, drop the 1. You don't like the stock, drop the 2. Let's see where everybody is at. Everybody's participating. Smash the like button. Share the stream, Ben. I appreciate the pitch. It was a good pitch. Whenever you have a pitch, I would love to have you back on to go through these. That's what this show is all about. This is the idea show, baby.
All right. We have some pitches coming up, another hot stock coming up soon. So happy to do that. By the way, I'm interviewing Dario Health at 3 p.m. live. It's free for everyone. If everyone's interested, that's another stock I own. All
right. And look at that chat. All ones coming in. People like it. We got a Ben is the salesman of the year. Air horn for Ben. Let's go. All right. Everybody likes the stock. I'm putting it on my watch list, guys. So we already are like pretty far along in building out our agenda for tomorrow. We said we have to talk about Genius Brands. We said we're going to look at IDXX again. We're going to have to look at this one again, AEHR. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, those are some hot tickers to make sure you are subscribed for. Ben, appreciate you coming on the Power Hour. Next time you have a pitch, hit me that DM on Twitter, and we'll make it happen.
Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it, Luke.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. So there you have it, guys. If you are just joining us, this is the Power Hour. This is the Idea Show. Like the stream, share the stream, drop us the stocks that you are trading today. We've already covered WISA, Voyager, Disney, Maps, IDXX, Wish. There's AEHR. We are going to keep the idea flow going. I've got a stock. We've got a company actually coming on next that I bet a lot of you haven't heard of. Ticker VSQTF. Really interesting model, significantly different than what we think of or how a typical public company operates. So let's go ahead and bring Victory Square onto the stream. Shafin, how is it going? Welcome to the Power Hour. We are happy to have you here, and that is a nice background you have. You got the dirt with the money growing in it. I like it. How are things in your world, sir?
Things are good. Thanks for having us, Luke. Ben got us hyped up. I was just
Ben got us hyped up, baby. Let's hit it. That was his first time on too. He just came out of the gate ready to swing.
No, that was great. No, thanks for having us. Things are great and excited to kind of share our story with your viewers.
Absolutely. So before we dive into it, give us a little bit of background on the company, guys. I'm going to throw the chart up on the screen so we all can take a look. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and just get us started with some background?
Yeah, absolutely. So Victory Square Technologies was created in 2017. Ticker is VSQTF in the US. VST in Canada. We basically give investors ground floor access to a diverse portfolio of over 28 companies from around the world in key sectors such as digital health, gaming, esports, crypto, augmented and virtual reality, the creator economy, cybersecurity, and green tech. So basically, these are early seed stage companies. So the next generation of tech giants before they're giants. Again, I mentioned these companies come from all over the world. So we have relationships with 80 incubators from Delhi, India, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Tallinn, Estonia, Boulder, Colorado. We found some of the brightest entrepreneurs in these verticals and sectors, brought them into our office, seeded and funded them ourselves, and applied what we call time, knowledge, and money to grow and scale these businesses, which generally takes about 12 to 48 months. The first company got spun out last year, Fans Unite, ticker FANS in Canada. We had acquired that business 3 years ago for 2 million Canadian dollars. It's now, they've raised over 40 million. It's trading at around, I think, 160, 170 million dollar market cap. We spun out our last company, Game On June 1st, and then we'll spin off the next in August, called Immersive Technology. So we built a great portfolio, so investors get access to, a diverse portfolio of these, the next generation of tech giants. Management is funded and seeded all of these companies, so they're aligned with them. And yeah, like the background, it's harvest season, so the portfolio has about 10 companies that have all kind of been in the portfolio for about, I would say, 36 months, that will be spinning out, quarter after quarter, which I think is why we've had 5 consecutive quarters of positive net income and earnings per share.
Yep, and we've got a shot of the portfolio up on the screen right now, and so let me make sure that I understand this correctly. But basically, it's a publicly traded vehicle for like individual investors to be able to participate in a VC type portfolio, a venture capital type portfolio. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, it's definitely fair to say. I mean, for me, one of the reasons why we built this was, if you're an investor, you generally don't have access to these early seed stage tech companies, until they become like, billion-dollar companies. So our whole model was put them into a public company that's liquid, transparent, audited, and allow retail investors from all over the world to participate in, early in these companies.
Okay, and so tell us a little bit about the selection process, right? You have a lot of companies in the portfolio. How do you decide what to put in there, and how do investors know? I guess this is 2 questions. So 1, how do you decide what to put in there? 2, how do investors really understand what they have exposure to in the portfolio?
Yeah, absolutely. So our investment process and criteria is kind of our secret sauce. So I mentioned earlier, we have relationships with about 80 accelerators around the world. So these are organizations that kind of vet local entrepreneurs and startups in all their specific, jurisdictions. So before we even go and look for a company, we identify verticals and spaces that we either have clients for, or it's a space that we know is going to be big. Then we'll go and kind of solve that pain point by finding a company. So before we even look for a deal, it's because we have, a competitive advantage in a specific sector. Most of what we focus on is what we refer to kind of as the 4th industrial revolution. So technology that we think is going to disrupt the next, 2 decades and onwards. Once we've identified that, we look, for some of these top companies. We bring them into our office where we kind of evaluate them for about 4 months. We plug them into our network to get some of our advisors to provide us further validation on these companies. And once they've met that criteria, we take an investment. But we're not passive investors, so we roll up our sleeves and almost act as co-founders. So most of our ownership stake will range anywhere from as low as 5% to as high as 100%, but the sweet spot is around 20 to 23%. And again, we're working with these companies to kind of grow and scale them, and that process generally takes about 12 to 48 months. Then we spin them off as their own kind of public company. So the secret sauce is that we have access. Tech is borderless. We've established these relationships globally from over 20 years, so we have that feeder system. 2, we have a ton of partners and networking large enterprise clients that come to us with pain points that we now know if we find a company solving that, we have a customer base immediately. But you asked the question, how should investors kind of look at this? I mean, there are a couple of things. One, in most cases, you're investing in a one-trick pony. Here, it's diversity. There's there's an alignment. We as management are invested. Our process, we're not investing randomly in companies, so there's a risk mitigation process too that's there. And then ultimately, I think you're looking at the performance of the company from a NAV perspective, right? So the entry point for our stock right now is great. I think we're trading in the US at around 39 cents a share, PE ratio of around 2. The PE ratio for tech companies averages around 17, so significantly undervalued. And then you've got I think our market cap in US dollars is probably around 39 to 40 million, US dollars.
And so what percentage of the total holding company is made up or consists of that public stock?
The whole. So our
Okay.
Yeah, the whole. So basically the public company owns our ownership stake in all of these companies and assets. And so for investors, I think we're going to start to publish a NAV that investors will see on a quarterly basis. I think our NAV right now is probably sitting over 125, over 130 million dollars. So in comparison to our market cap, there's a great entry point for investors. And just another thing to note, we've had 5 consecutive quarters of positive net income and earnings per share. So all of our filings are up on SEDAR. So I think last year audited financials, we reported net income of 16.3 million, earnings per share of I think close to 30 cents. We paid out a common share dividend this year already. So for investors, they're getting access to a diverse portfolio of some of the top startups and tech companies from around the world, a company with a healthy balance sheet, consecutive quarters of net income, and a dividend. So there's a I think and the entry point right now, we think for investors is phenomenal.
Awesome. And so I see that some of these are publicly traded entities. Like I'm looking at Fans Unite, Cloud9, Game On Entertainment. Were you in all of these companies before they went public, or did you take the position after they were public, or how exactly did that work?
So in the case of Game On and Fans Unite, we basically took those companies public. So our model with these companies, find them early, spend time, money, and time, knowledge, and money with these companies over a period of 3 to 4 years, commercialize them, and then spin them off and take them public. So in Fans Unite and Game On's case, we took both companies public. In the case of Cloud9, we actually had some, because we've got a ton of IP kind of at Victory Square. We sold a piece of IP in the crypto space to Cloud9 for stock, which then allowed us.
Got it. Okay.
For that company.
Excellent. And give us a little bit of your background. I mean, it's a really interesting vehicle you've put together, right? Again, there's not a whole ton of these publicly traded entities that basically give individual investors access to a VC type portfolio. Like what was the dream when you put this together? What hole in the market did you see? What pain? I mean, I think it is a super interesting model. So you could have done this privately. But yeah, I would just love to hear that story.
Yeah, so a couple things. I'll give you a quick background on myself. So I started in the tech space in the mid '90s. I started an online dating site out of my dorm room, and I was one of those kids, tinkering with. Wait,
what was the niche for the dating site? We got to know that.
It was called iFlirts. So it's
hell yes. Okay, I'm down. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and at the time I was one of those kids that was tinkering with computers. I felt that the internet was going to disrupt the way we accessed information and kind of connected with people and played. And so we were very fortunate. The business took off. We were making a lot of money at age 17 and 18, and we adopted this model called the venture build model, which was go and buy, build, or invest in businesses that we could port users from our dating site onto. And so we transitioned into gaming and those types of businesses. So this venture build model of only investing in businesses that we knew or we had a competitive advantage for is kind of the core and foundation of VST's business or Victory Square's business model today. And we had over 20 years of success. That we have a strong digital footprint, and anyone that wants to Google Victory Square or myself can see that. But the question is, why did we set this up? So there are a couple of reasons. One, as an investor myself, I got tired of the fact that I couldn't see startups from regularly from the Bay Area or from Israel or from the UK. I was limited to where I was kind of geographically to invest, unless I wanted to invest in a company that already kind of had a significantly high valuation. Two, when I invest in an early seed stage company, it's private. I have no transparency. It's kind of illiquid. So the whole premise with VST was to build a public company that's audited, transparent, and liquid, where I could put that portfolio together. And just to note, the first $10 million of investment came from myself and the management team, who are still currently the largest shareholders, to validate that hypothesis. And having been in the tech space for over 20 plus years, that's what allowed us to establish great relationships with these incubators globally, and some of the top minds in different sectors and verticals that could help VST and our portfolio companies. And our portfolio companies are very symbiotic. So we built this really powerful ecosystem that ensures a greater chance of success. So the idea here was we built this Victory Square for ourselves. Like, what would we want to invest in? Into something that's audited, transparent, liquid, alignment with management, and then gives me access to the best companies globally. I don't have to invest in a 5-10 year fund and have a minimum investment of 250 grand. Anyone can participate here.
Okay. And let me ask you one more question. From the investor perspective, what should we be looking out for on the horizon next?
So we've got some great catalysts. I mean, the first, I think, would just be entry point. Buffett says it's not always important to invest in a good company, but your entry point is key. So one is, I think our entry point, we're significantly undervalued today. But upcoming highlights, I mentioned we spun off Game On on June 1st and issued a dividend to VST shareholders. So our next company that's going to be spun off is Immersive Technologies, which is a virtual and augmented reality company. They should be listed by August, and we'll issue a share dividend to VST shareholders. So anticipate another company being spun off that we have a major interest that was incubated in VST, where VST shareholders will get a dividend. Our Q2 financials will be released. Our Q2 ended June 30th, but the numbers will come out end of August. And I'm confident we had a very strong quarter. We had another investment in the renewable space called Stardust Solar, which will be listing. We're aiming for November of this year. And there are two more companies in our portfolio. One is called Turnium, which should be listed December, January, and then Copilot Advisors, which should be Q1 of next year. So the reason why I share those is there's going to be a tremendous amount of value unlocked on our balance sheet for which will impact all of our shareholders, and the idea of a dividend kind of being issued. So we're anticipating strong Q2, Q3, Q4 numbers and a dividend to be paid out. One other thing to touch on too is there are a couple of investments that we've made recently. So we're big believers in the whole creative economy in the creator space right now, especially with the NCAA ruling in the US that this was passed. So we have an investment in that space called creator.co, and we have some really exciting things that are happening in that. And then the digital health space. So we acquired a company called Hydrate earlier this year. They're an on-demand, on-site health and wellness company operating in the US. And we've just introduced, a telehealth platform and, an online pharmacy as part of that business that we'll be licensing. So there's a number of catalysts that, I think investors can look out for the next 6 months.
Awesome. Well, Shafin, I appreciate you taking the time, joining us on the Power Hour today, telling us about the company, about the model. Absolutely interesting. You teased us with some of the things on the horizon. We had the dividend, the creator economy. So thank you very much. This is the Idea Show, and you definitely brought us an idea today.
Thanks so much, Luke.
Absolutely. All right, guys. How about that one? We're bringing some fire today. I don't know what's up. Maybe it's producer AB. He's just sending positive vibes through or something. Is this your apartment, AB?
Yes, sir. I'm at my apartment. Man. Thank you.
Wait, can we get a tour?
Is
it really dirty?
Living room? No, not dirty.
Yeah, this is very clean. It's a nice place.
Kitchen right now. Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, there you go. See, that's why y'all should move to Michigan. We have a nice apartment.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset at my landlord right now, though, but that's a story for another day.
Story for another day. Guys, I've got to hop. I've got to go get ready for a 1 p.m. call that I have. Producer AB, I know we have our NVIDIA chat challenge. Stock is up today, baby. My price target is looking good. Why don't you take it away?
Yes, sir. All right, Luke, we'll be back tomorrow for another episode of Power Hour. Please smash that like and subscribe. I'm going to hang out with y'all for the next, 10 minutes or
And
so.
really quick, tomorrow we have a hot list already. Sorry, AB.
We have to remember, Luke, we have to order
brands. Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we have to order the ring off Wish. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, so tomorrow we have Genius Brands, IDXX, AEHR. We're gonna buy some random shit on Wish.com. Trading Grounds. Shout out Brad in the chat. So and we're doing the video again tomorrow. We're doing the video all week this week, baby, with the stock split. So boom, subscribe, hit that button. All right, keep going, AB.
All right. So first, let's go check it on NVIDIA. We're up about 3% today. The stock's trading at $191 a share. This is post the 4-to-1 split. So the stock went from about $800 to about $200, right below it. And you know, this, I've said it before on the stream, this is one of my favorite stocks long term. I don't really have a big opinion on it as far as a short-term trade. You know, I could see it kind of continue to go up from here, go up to these previous highs of 208 post split. But there also are some previous kind of support levels down here that if we see a downtrend, they could definitely certainly hit down to 177. I'm bullish though. On the chat challenge, I picked $208, I believe. So I still need some room to grow here for the rest of the week if I have any hopes of winning the chat challenge. But let me know in the chat what tickers y'all are looking at. Would love to pull them up in Benzinga Pro, see the chart, see if we have any news. I'm looking at right now the different option sweeps we have coming in on NVIDIA. A really cool tool on Benzinga Pro that I like to use is just looking at the different unusual options activity. So I see one right here for 185 puts. I see one here for 205 calls. The calls expire later in August. These puts are for next Friday. So sometimes it just gives me an idea of the sentiment of how some of these big traders are feeling on the stocks with the unusual options activity. Certainly a cool tool to look at there. All right, let's see. I see Neuro in the chat. This is one that we talked about earlier on the stream with David Green. The stock popped earlier. Was it for the first time? Yeah, it was today. I didn't know if it was. Let's go look at the 2-day here. So yeah, I mean, this looks like Neuro could, if it holds these levels at 26, it doesn't look bad. But it could certainly continue to drop from here. But if it holds these levels for a little bit longer, then I like it. I might be able to get in that trade. We can see it's upticked a couple times so far. So it could get back up to this $30 level. But right now, I want to wait and see if it holds the support or if it continues to kind of drop here. Let me see what news we have coming in here. So Neurometrics sees shares higher. So this one was getting halted pre-market. Let me see. What does this company do? Neurometrics is a commercial stage healthcare company. Its core business activities are integrated with in-house capabilities spanning product development, manufacturing, regulatory. All right, chat. I want to put this challenge out to you guys. Do you have any stocks, any trades that you have a thesis behind? So just real quick, drop the ticker and then why you like the company. I see someone talking about CCIV. We'll check on that dip real quick. This is one that me and my buddy Ryan Rosbiani were talking about on the stream last night. Oh, wow. And so this dipped all the way down to $22. It's come back up to 23. I like CCIV more long term than for a trade. Let's see if we have any news on here. Traders showing interest in stock ahead of merger vote July 22nd. So yeah, this could be. So the ticker is supposed to change tomorrow, I believe, to Lucid, or they're about to vote on it to see if it will change to Lucid Motors. It could be just a classic buy the news, sell the dip event. So in those, you have a stock run up because people are interested in a certain event or some news. And then as soon as that news hits that day, the stock will drop a little bit. So I'd be a little cautious of that tomorrow after the merger date. But we have seen the stock run before. It's been all the way up to about $63. Let me go back to it. $64.75 all-time highs. So again, long term, I do like this stock. I don't have any in my portfolio currently, but I will look to add some soon. But I would keep your eyes open for tomorrow to see what we have. CMG, please. So this is Chipotle. I mean, Chipotle has just been crushing earnings. They crushed earnings yesterday. Wow, it's up 11%. I mean, this is a huge company. The stock is up $1,749 a share. The stock is up $175 just today. You know, I don't know. This one's a little too expensive for me, I think. I think if you look at where the stock was trading pre-COVID, right here at the $890, $900 level, and how extended it is right now. I mean, it's almost double what it was trading pre-COVID. So that scares me a little bit that I think it could come down from here. But I mean, Chipotle's financials are incredible and they always crush earnings. So let's see, USB maintains buy on Chipotle, BMO market perform. So yeah, we have some analyst ratings. Again, Chipotle always crushes earnings. So I don't know how much of a catalyst it really acts for it. Cruises have popped today, I think, already. Carnival Cruise Line, let's see. Yeah, up 9% today. I think with the cruises, we talked about this yesterday too, that it all depends on kind of what's going on with COVID, with the Delta variant. It does look like we're seeing some strength in the chart right here for Carnival. I like these sharp reversal patterns. Certainly could see a little sell-off tomorrow, today, but you know, I think it depending on your time horizon. Are you looking to buy this and look at it in a year, in 2 years? Then yeah, I think we'll see it, you know, these stocks creep back up to their pre-COVID levels. But if you're looking for a trade, if we get bad news about COVID or the Delta variant, this stock could easily drop back down to these $20, $19 levels. These ones are fun to trade though, because they are volatile. Let me see. Long holder and calls are awesome. Yep, I agree. Happy, I also agree. I think Chipotle needs to do a split soon. Leah saying, question, I just bought a call for ACB at 750 expires. It's in the money, wouldn't let me sell. I have no choice but to hold overnight. Help. Let's pull up ACB real quick. Yeah, I don't know why your broker wouldn't be allowing you to sell your in the money calls. What I would recommend doing is if you just put the ask price a little lower than what market is, then they usually get picked up pretty quickly. All right, y'all. Well, it is almost time to start Get Technical. Today on Get Technical, we have Tim Quast coming on. Super excited about that. We're also going to be looking at price targets for AMC, for NVIDIA, for Apple, some high-flying stocks. So if you want to see me and Neil over on the other stream, hang out, and we're going over there right now.